What's up guys, Full FIFA here back in with another video, and today we got the FIFA 21 marquee matchups for week 23. And sorry about not uploading a video last week, I was really busy. I'll throw the teams up on the screen right now. As always, try to buy the gold rares for around 650 to 750 and buy the commons for around 350 to 450 coins. Again, these commons are pretty high in price right now due to the 81 plus SBC that is out right now, so you guys can probably get away with buying these cards for around like 500 coins each for the commons, and those player prices are kind of high, so do try and get them during Swap Battle Rewards, which is coming up in a couple of hours. So that's the best time to buy. That's when I'm going to be buying my cards as well. So let's get into the teams. First team we got is Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund, and this is a huge matchup. This is 100% going to be, in my opinion, 100% going to be in the marquee matchups. So if you guys take a look at the rares I would be going with is probably Meunier. That's the #1 rare that I would pick up, just due to the simple fact, again, he does discard for only 2 coins below what you guys are going to bid on for 650 coins. So I would buy these cards for around 650. Even this Delaney is pretty decent as well. If you guys can't pick up any of those guys, you guys can even go with Piszczek. That is also another great option. And then if we do go ahead and look at the non-rares, again, these guys are going to be way harder to get right now. If you guys can pick up any of these for around like 350 coins, that's an awesome deal during Swap Battle Rewards. So I'd go ahead and grab those guys as well if you guys are able to. But probably for this week, I'd probably stick with the rares just because they're going to be much easier to get than the commons. Again, same thing with these Bayern Munich players. If you guys can get any of these cards for around 350 coins, or 350 to 400 coins, that's an amazing deal on these cards, because again, they are inflated in price due to the SBC that is out currently. And then if we do take a look at the rares that I would be going with myself is Javier Martinez. Again, 2 coins less. You guys can pick up this goalkeeper if you want for 600 coins. Again, there's a lot of supply of this goalkeeper especially. So for 600 coins, it might not be that bad of an option, because again, he does discard for 600 coins, so you'll be losing like literally 0 coins on that card. And even this Pavard is a really good option. So my main 3 options is Javier Martinez, Pavard, and if you have a lower budget, I would go with the goalkeeper instead. And next we move on to La Liga, where we got Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. So again, another big matchup. So this is most likely going to be another team that's in there, and that which requires players from each team again, because they do have a lot of cards that you guys can actually pick up. So for the rares, the main 2 rares I would be going with is Dembele and Torreira. So Torreira, sorry. And then these 2 cards, again, only discard for 2 coins below their discard. So those are the 2 main picks for the rares. And if we do move on to the common cards, again, same thing. If you guys can pick these up for 350 coins, there's literally only one. Very hard to pick this card up again. So I would just stick with the rares for now for Atletico Madrid. And if we do move on to Real Madrid, the commons are a little bit easier to get for these guys, especially because it's a goalkeeper. This goalkeeper is pretty easy to get, so I would bid on for around 350 coins. That would be my max on that card. Even if you're able to get that right back for 350, that is a bargain. And then if we do go into the rares, we do have a couple of rares you guys can look into picking up. Again, they're not very high rated, so if you guys can even pick up this center back Fernandez is a good option as well. If you guys can pick up this Milito, that is another good option, or this right wing Rodrigo. Mariano is a decent option. If you guys can get him for 650, that's not bad as well. And then if we do move on to the other ones, we do have the Serie A, where we do have Atlanta versus Inter Milan. So if you guys did see the wild cards, we did have in Atlanta versus Inter Milan and Juventus versus Lazio. Both of those could be interchanged, but Lazio was in the UCL marquee matchups this week, so I don't know how good of it, how likely they are to actually get into this again. So if you guys want to look at somebody we've been talking about, Atlanta quite a bit actually, and they didn't put them into UCL marquee matchups, so they might actually be in these normal marquee matchups. Again, Darun is probably my only option from these guys. Wouldn't pick up a ton of these cards, because I'd probably only pick up a couple because they might do a requirement where you actually don't need players from these teams. So like if you want to pick up a couple of Drones, you guys can go ahead and do that. I would look actually into picking up these Italian Serie A players. Italian Serie A center backs most likely is what I'm going to be picking up myself because they do tend to rise. I've noticed that a lot about these marquee matchups. They do tend to make these cards rise, especially the center backs from the same nation as the league is. So go ahead and take a look at buying into these Italian center backs instead of buying into each team. Again, look, even from Atlanta, you guys got this Italian center back option. Look, he is going for 650 coins, but during Schwab Battle Rewards, there's a huge supply of these cards on the market, so these should be easier to pick up. So I would stay away from these actually buying these teams. Instead, invest in the leagues that they are from. Again, same thing with the next matchup we got is Vitesse versus AZ, which is from the Eredivisie. So if we do take a look at AZ, again, they do have a couple of gold cards that you guys can actually pick up. So I would pick these cards up for around 300 coins, 350 coins, whatever their minimum price is, which it will be 350 for these cards because none of these guys are 75 rated. So buy these cards for as cheap as possible, and then you guys can again also look into picking up these Netherlands cards, which are center backs, because they do tend to rise up in price, especially because there's such a low supply for the gold cards on these. There's a low supply in the Eredivisie for gold center backs, so I would look into picking these cards up for around 350 to 300 coins. I probably wouldn't spend more than 400 coins on these cards just because of the risk that's also involved again. But I wouldn't buy players from each team for these guys. So I would just look into picking up these Netherlands cards or even these center backs. They're just the normal center backs. Even if this guy's Argentinian, as you guys can see, even he is a very good option to pick up. And then if we do move into the wild cards, we do have Juventus versus Lazio. So again, this is pretty out there. So Lazio is in the UCL marquee matchups right now. So I don't know, but they do expire on Tuesday and these do come out on Thursday. So I don't know how good of a chance they do have. If you guys are going to look into picking up any of these cards, I would pick up only a couple, probably like 3 or 4 from each team. I wouldn't put a ton of coins into these cards. And if you guys are looking for a good option, the two options are Correa, this center forward, 81 rated again, only 2 coins below his price if you do buy him for 650, and Lazari, 650 maximum on these cards, don't pay more than that. And again, if we do move on over to Juventus, don't pay more than 650 coins for these cards, any of these cards that you guys are going to be picking up, just because there's also a risk involved. Again, just because we're not 100% sure it's even going to get in. So I would be looking at picking up this center mid from this United States center mid. Again, he does discard for 600 coins, so 600 coins for him will be a great option. And lastly, we do got Aston Villa versus Wolves. So another game that's pretty much out there. Probably if these guys do even get in, they probably won't require players from these specific teams. So I would be again looking to picking up center backs from the Premier League, because these tend to rise no matter what, just due to the when they do get into these marquee matchups, they do tend to rise quite a bit. So I would suggest picking these cards up for around 350 to 400 coins and then just selling them off in the first hour. Right now is a really good option, even during Schwab Battle Rewards, if you guys are able to bid real quick on these cards, because they're going to be selling for huge amounts just because of that SBC that's out right now. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully this helps you guys out. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. Peace.